It's a beautiful college football Saturday, but we've got Jets news to talk about. I'm Glenn Naughton with Jet Nation Radio and JetNation.com. Be sure to log into JetNation.com where you can register and become a part of what is the most active Jets message board on the web. I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm watching South Carolina, Kentucky. Just turned that on. I had a bunch of games on earlier. And the news just came across my feed that, well, a couple things. One thing that came up earlier, no surprise. Diana Rossini of The Athletic says, well, and I guess mild surprise, right? We'll talk about Lombardi in a second. Diana Rossini of The Athletic says that edge rusher Haason Reddick claims he is ready to, quote, die on his sword, which basically means, stand for what I believe in and keep this holdout going for as long as I have to. And maybe he will. Maybe Haason Reddick stays out, doesn't come in this year, or doesn't come. Of course he's going to come in by the deadline because that's how he becomes a free agent. So he won't stay away all year. And he may, he could come back in a couple of weeks. It could be posturing. It could be the agents trying to pressure the Jets, whatever it may be. Tell you what, Jets come out and get a few sacks, 3, 4, 5 sacks against Brock Purdy, and that might rush Reddick into the building. But I don't think that's going to happen. I was pretty optimistic that he would be in the building by now, just because I didn't think he was going to want to start losing game checks. But it appears, and perhaps it's legitimate, he is standing on principle. And I'm worth more than what they're offering, so I'm not coming in for week 1 or 2 or 3. And we'll see how that goes, and we'll see if the Jets budge. But as of right now, Reddick, a Jet in name only. He has not attended a practice. He obviously will not be taking part in this week's game. Already felt like he wouldn't play if he came in yesterday or today, but Robert Saleh confirmed today, speaking with the media, that it was unlikely, or safe to say, I believe is the term he used, that Reddick would not play against the 49ers. And again, the unfortunate part of that for the Jets, excuse me, that's probably the one game early in the year where he really is needed. Other games, I think they'll be fine without him. So even though I picked the Jets to win this game against the 49ers, I do keep going back in my head and thinking, here's why San Fran will win. Here's why the Jets will win. I've said this before. I'm not, win or lose this game, I'm not melting down. It's week 1. It's the best team on their schedule. It's a team that's got more continuity than the Jets have. They've been together longer. They've had a lot more success, know how to win games. So I'm not backing off and saying the Jets won't win. I'm just saying if they don't win, I won't be shocked, and I'm not going to be heartbroken over it. Tell you what, though, if you lose the way the Ravens lost the other day, that's heartbreaking for anybody. I don't care who you are. That was a tough one. The toe on the line, that much. Game over. You lose. But anyway, no Reddick, no surprise. And Wes Schweitzer. That's the other piece of news today. Backup offensive lineman Wes Schweitzer, guard center, is heading to IR. Nowhere. I don't think it's a season thing. The Jets the Jets tweeted it out about an hour ago. Like I said, I missed it watching college football. Probably a few weeks, probably 4 weeks till Schweitzer is back. I would bring Cole Laval up from the practice squad if I were the Jets. I say all the time, I probably spend an unhealthy amount of time. No, sorry, there's no probably about it. I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about this football team. And just earlier today, without any Schweitzer news, was thinking to myself, man, is Cole Laval going to get poached? Like, he had a really good preseason. Maybe I'm overrating it. Somebody could have grabbed him when he was placed on waivers before the Jets added him to their practice squad. But he's got some versatility, center guard versatility, played in the UFL, played well. That's why the Jets grabbed him. Played a ton of snaps in the preseason, looked really good. So hopefully he's the guy they bring up. Could be Hansen. We'll see where they go from there. But either way, Schweitzer, that is a little bit of a blow. He is a guy that I think we all projected on our 53. I figured he would be the guy, the first backup, the first man up if an interior lineman gets hurt, because he is that veteran guy with a lot of experience, that veteran presence. But now, again, out for a few weeks. Laval is a guy who, like I said, UFL, he's played at the pro level. He just hasn't played at the NFL level. But I think the Jets would feel pretty comfortable going to him if they had to, if someone were to get dinged up. hopefully not an issue. You just knew it. You knew the backup starter, whatever. You knew the Jets couldn't go into the season with all the offensive linemen healthy. Someone had to get hurt. But not a ton of news on the injury report as a whole. Zaire Barnes was added to it. But that's really about it. That's the only two significant names. We'll see what happens there with Barnes. Guy had a great camp. We raved about him. And Chaz Surratt wondering if one or both would make it. They both end up making it. But I'm sure we'll have news probably within, probably sometime tonight, who's going to be taking Schweitzer's roster spot. Again, you're talking a backup guy who you're hoping didn't play anyway. Now you're talking the backup to the backup, who you're hoping doesn't see the field because you just want healthy guys out there. Speaking of healthy guys, not Jets related, but somewhat Jets related. Some fans get mad. Some fans get upset when you talk about former Jets because they're like, "Oh, he's gone. Who cares?" Well, some fans, just because we're Jets fans, and especially when you're talking high-profile players, they generate some buzz, some conversation. So yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles played a football game. They won a football game, and Mekhi Becton looked pretty damn good from what I saw. Didn't see the whole game yet, but watched about a 20-minute highlight reel that I was able to find where Becton threw some key blocks, had one on a Saquon Barkley touchdown run where he had just completely took the lineman out of the play. So Becton played well. Bryce Huff, didn't see him do anything. In the highlights, looked at the box score. Wild Wave, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Short one tonight. Talking a little Schweitzer, little bit of Reddick, and then of course throwing in the couple former Jets who popped to mind. Bryce Huff did nothing. He had a tackle, but I think from what it looked like, I'm pretty sure that was a grass field, and guys like Huff tend to like that. Tend to like that fast runway, that artificial turf. Doing well, Wild Wave. Thanks for asking. So psyched for the season. Even tomorrow, even with the Jets not playing, looking forward to watching games, having friends over for barbecue, but not football fans. So I told them, hey, you can come over. We'll make some steaks, some burgers, some dogs. But come kickoff, I'm out. The grill is closed, and I'll be in the living room watching football. So that's my plan for tomorrow. And then, of course, Jets Monday Night Football if you're in the States, Tuesday morning football if you are in this part of the world, 1 a.m. kickoff. That'll be quite the adventure, as always. But looking forward to it. So, again, no Haason Reddick. Wes Schweitzer out for a little while. Nothing, the Schweitzer thing isn't earth-shattering. The Reddick thing, I said it yesterday. And I think I've said it a couple times now. I am of two minds here. The logical mind, he's coming in. But the Jets fan, PTSD, been through the stuff with this team over however many years. I'm like, not feeling so great about this. The situation's not looking good. So now that he's going to lose $850K a week, and if he's willing to stand on that and spend 10 weeks, 11 weeks, losing himself over $8 million, really, with the preseason fines, you'd be talking about over 10. You're looking, I don't know, what, 10 and a half, $11 million in fines. He'll never get that back. So go ahead and do it if you want. That's fine. It's, he's got that right under the CBA. He's allowed to not come into work for 11 weeks. And if he doesn't come into work for 11 weeks, he'll be down 11 million and he'll never make that back. So, okay. Listen, if someone's standing on their principles, that's fine. But I don't feel like the Jets are being unreasonable here. The Jets are saying if you would like $25-ish million a year, we would first like to see you in our building playing football. And he's saying, no, I'm not going to come in your building and play in your system and show you what I've got. And look, I get that there's film and there's, his tape you can watch and see, that he's a great player. That's why you traded for him. But if I'm going to pay you $25 million a year, I'm going to want to see something up close and personal, especially if you were completely shut down over your last couple games last year. Non-factor over the final few games of the year for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, nothing wrong with saying, let's get you in here. Let's see that first step. Let's see how you do with our coaches and our system. and then we'll talk about giving you that money. So that's what the Jets did. That's not going to happen, apparently. I don't, look, the Jets have said they won't trade him, but if he keeps going this route and teams, and he continues to demand the trade, I know Van Noy went down the other day for Baltimore, but Baltimore, I don't see Baltimore taking him on. And we've talked about this. Every team that Philly called said no when they found out how much he wanted. The Jets said, we'd like to talk, we're interested. And then we're of the belief that he was going to come into camp, and they said, okay, let's do this deal. They did the deal, and he didn't come to camp. So, as I tweeted earlier, anyone think the Broncos would take a fifth round pick for somebody like, I don't know, John Franklin Myers? He'd come in a little handy right about now. That was Joe Douglas. In my mind, that was the biggest misstep by Douglas. I've said it before, unloading JFM without knowing you had Reddick under contract. That was a gaffe. That was a boneheaded move. And now it could come back to bite him. So we'll see how it goes. Short one today. Like I said, just touching on the two stories in the news. And Jets football, 48? What time we got? We have Jets football in about 51, 52 hours. Somewhere in that ballpark. Looking forward to it. Have a good one, Jets fans.